The map you grew up with is a lie. And the crazy part? Almost everyone believes it without question. That flat map hanging in your classroom, the one you stared at for years, it distorts our entire view of the world. Take Africa. On the map, it looks about the same size as Greenland. But in reality, Africa is 14 times larger. You could fit the entire United States, China, India, and most of Europe inside Africa, and still have room left over. Yet the Mercator projection shrinks it down, making it look almost equal to tiny islands. And it doesn't stop there. Europe looks massive, like it dominates the globe. But if you compare real sizes, South America is almost twice as large. Alaska looks huge, almost bigger than Brazil. Reality check? Brazil is 5 times larger than Alaska. This wasn't just a mistake, it was by design. The Mercator map was created in the 1500s for navigation, so sailors could travel straight lines across oceans. Great for ships, but terrible for truth. It stretched the north and south, making Europe and North America look more powerful, while shrinking Africa and South America. Now think about the psychology of that. Entire generations grew up believing certain nations were bigger, stronger, more dominant, simply because of how they were drawn. It wasn't just geography, it was perception, influence, even propaganda. And here's the twist. If a map can bend your perception of size, imagine what happens when geography bends your perception of time. Because somewhere on this planet, there's a border where you can literally stand in today and see tomorrow just across the water. And if you think that's wild, maps lying about size and power, wait until you see what happens when geography lies about time itself. Because out in the Bering Strait between Russia and the United States, there are 2 tiny islands that will break your brain. Imagine waking up on Monday morning and seeing your neighbors already living in Tuesday. No, this isn't science fiction, this is real life. In the middle of the frozen Bering Strait between Alaska and Russia lie 2 tiny islands. On the left, Little Diomede, American soil. On the right, Big Diomede, Russian territory. The distance, only 2.4 miles apart. That's closer than most city suburbs. You could almost throw a rock across. But here's the mind-bending part. Despite being neighbors, these islands are separated not just by a border, but by time itself. Big Diomede is 21 hours ahead of Little Diomede. Locals call it the Tomorrow Island and the Yesterday Island. So standing on Little Diomede, you can literally look across the water and see Russia, already in the next day. Think about it. Families used to live on both islands, connected by blood and tradition. But during the Cold War, Russia moved everyone off Big Diomede and turned it into a military base. Now no civilians live there. Meanwhile, on the American side, a tiny Inuit village of just around 80 people still survives on the edge of the frozen cliffs. These families can see their ancestral cousins across the ice, but can't visit. It's the closest distance and the biggest separation. So picture this. Only a short boat ride apart, yet one side wakes up on Monday, while the other side is already sipping coffee on Tuesday. It's like the ultimate glitch in reality. Crazy, right? Would you dare to stand on the edge of yesterday and stare at tomorrow? Drop your thoughts below.